risk of electronic shock, do not open. No user serviceable parts inside. Oh, that's the end of the video. It's model number BT-121J. It takes AC power and DC 12 volts. But one thing to note there, it's negative polarity on the 12 volt DC jack. Refer servicing to qualified service personnel. Disconnect the unit from the mains before removing the cover. It's strange how it's made in Korea rather than South Korea or North Korea. So I wonder when that was made. What we've got on here, external antenna, AM, FM, FM, AFC. I don't know how I'm going to put a signal in. Battery compartment is in there. I wonder what type of battery that takes. Ah, you must have to put 2 in each one. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 1.3. So they must go 3, 6, 9 and 12 for your 12 volts. That's good, isn't it? So that's it. And we've got the 5-inch BT-121J TV, AM, FM, 2-band radio, and we've got the tune in there for the TV and radio. So apparently it doesn't come on. So the first thing we'll do is we'll plug it into AC and see what's happening. I'm going to use my load lamp because I haven't tried it myself. I've got my load lamp here and a suitable power supply. Put that in there. So the load lamp's just going to check for a short circuit. So this should come on and go off. And nothing. I can hear a hum in here. I don't know if the microphone had picked that up, but there's definitely a humming. Tuning. So we've got off, radio and TV. I remember in the old days, if the screen wasn't on the telly, you could rub the back of your hand over the screen and you would pick up the static so you knew the telly was on. That was when you had to wait for televisions to warm up. Right, so there's nothing on there, but there is power going into it because I can hear it humming. I wonder if I should test that 12 volt DC using my bench power supply, if I can find a suitable connector. Right, this is something I've rigged up. See if that fits. And it doesn't. I'll go for this one. But it has to be negative polarity. So when I plug this into my bench power supply, I'll have to put these the wrong way around to give us negative polarity at this end. Right, power supply's on, so we'll just test that. 12 volts and I'm on negative polarity. Let's plug this in. No, I don't get the hum. Switch on and it's drawing no current. Not a sausage. So that is dead on both the AC and DC. Right, so let's do what you're not supposed to do and open it up. It has had AC put into it, so there could be live voltage inside, possibly stored in the CRT part. So there's my disclaimer. Do not copy what I'm doing. This is for entertainment purposes only. There's a screw in the bottom of there, but I don't know, it might all be one. That might all be one piece. Unless the top comes off here. It looks like the bottom comes away from the top. There we go. I wonder what that's from. So it looks like there's a power board separate up here. I've got a screw here. We'll take that out and we'll see if we can make a little bit of space. So they were the case screws. The next one was for this board. There's not much room to work in there. We do have got some connectors down here which I could take out. So I will take a photograph of that. And then the final one is red, green and black. There's another one right at the bottom which is black and blue. And then there's a one down there. Trying to keep my hand away from the back of the TV unit thing, whatever it's called. There's an aerial there I can undo. No, it still doesn't want to come out. Well, I've done all that. I think the back of this circuit board normally comes out of the back of the tube. I've seen that happening on some larger tubes. And it does. Just trying to get down into the back of here. I'm hoping to see a fuse. That's a little bit better. Ah, look. Right. There we go, that's easier. So this looks like it could be the tuning section. I don't know. I've got no idea. I would like to get this power board out. Whether or not I can do it without having to remove the TV part. But the radio is not working. So I'm wondering if it's power from this board isn't getting into this board. There's some tape on there which might not be ideal. Somebody just taped those wires together. Is this some kind of clue? I'm just looking for, I kind of got a good picture on this. Oh, I'm I'm just having a look through this board to see if I can see any signs of damage. I think the bolt I took out earlier must be for that, because this came undone. So I'm looking at this power board here, but what also came in the box was the instruction manual. And that's very interesting because it comes with, you've guessed it, a schematic. So if I zoom down to here, if I'm reading this correctly, so this looks like the 240 volts comes in here. DC 12 volts comes in here. Now I've got a fuse before the transformer. When I switch it on with power, I can hear a hum, and I'm assuming, I might be wrong about this, but I'm assuming the hum's coming from that transformer, which then goes to what looks like the bridge rectifier and comes out here in one black and red cable to the main board. So I've got a fuse here, 952, and I've got a fuse here, 951, some rectification, a capacitor, and out. Now looking at this board here, just move this across. I do have, there's a fuse there, 951, which is good. I've tested that. So I've got 951, which goes to the transformer. I'm trying to find 592, and there seems to be a switch here between, so this switch is 12 volts. So the 12 volts comes in here, and there's a switch here, and there's 240 volts comes in here, which is rectified, presumably down to around about 12 volts. So there's a switch. I'm assuming that's a switch. And another fuse, which I can't seem to see on that board. What stops it going from 12 volt to 240 volt on that board? Is there a switch somewhere? Is there supposed to be a manual switch that I might have missed? Selector switch, radio tuning knob, TV control, antenna volume, AM FM band switch, external antenna jack, earphone, contrast, brightness, horizontal hold, vertical hold, AC input, DC input. Connect to the cigarette lighter socket of your car with the car battery cord supplied. Connect to the socket with a power cord supplied. So at the minute I'm confused. What happens if you plug two things in at the same time? Or do they just assume that you're not going to do that? But to me, that looks like a switch, and that looks like another fuse. So I want to try and find that, and it goes to capacitor C950, which is this big one here. See, it's got batteries as well. That looks interesting. This looks like a oscilloscope readings. There's the is that the batteries there? So the battery symbol is there, and that's switched with the 12 volt. I don't know what that is. I can't seem to find 592 unless it's on the other side of the board. It doesn't look like there'll be anything on the other side of the board because it's quite low. This cable here is this one. So this is what I'm interested in at the moment. I want to make sure that I've got continuity down that cable. There's the positive. There's the negative. So if I plug this in, I should get 12 volts on this cable. But I'm a bit dubious about plugging it in, to be honest, while it's open. So the cable comes to the main circuit board and it comes to this switch here, which is TV, off, and radio, I think, RA for radio. And that's this switch here at the front. So it'll be good to see if we get voltage on there. So I think I will plug it in and see if I've got voltage here first. I'll use these finer ones to get in there. And I'll use the power supply and I'll give it 12 volts rather than the mains. I'm not sure if this connector going all the way in. I'll take that, I'll put the connector in and we'll see if we can test for continuity. That seems to be the inside one. I cannot see at the back. It wouldn't go straight to here, the connector to the main board. No. So that cable's correct. That comes down to there. It doesn't go to that fuse. I wonder if there's something down there. I wonder if that's a... Oh, hang on. Where's that part that came out? No, this little plastic thing. I think that's the cover of the fuse. And I think that one down there is the other fuse. I think it's underneath that cover. I wonder if I can go into it if I take this transformer out. There's the other fuse, just covered up there. This connector looks a bit wonky. I don't know if it's supposed to look wonky. Yeah, that's just a cover. Let me try and get this. Where's my pliers? Right. Is that fuse intact? No, it's not. And that is, it's got a 2 on the end. So that is 1 amp, 250 volts. This one. And it looks like it's kaput. It's got to have one in here, surely. The only thing I've got is this T 1 amp. T1EL 250 volts. I don't know whether to put this in or wait until I've got the right one, because look how much I've got to take it apart to put the correct fuse in. I think I'll order a selection of fuses. Okay, so I have some fuses. It's been a few days. I ordered a pack of fuses, and this one should be 1 amp. I'm going to pop it in. So my reckoning is there's only one connector coming out of the little power board here, which is this one. So if I put 12 volt in here, I'm expecting, I might be wrong, but I'm expecting to see 12 volt on here, DC. I could test it with the AC power cord, but I figure, well, let's test it on the lower voltage first and see what happens. So we'll plug this in. We'll switch on. Right, so we've got 12 volts. So we can test that. So if I go to a ground somewhere, is the battery terminal a ground? Yes. 12 volts. Or 11.9. So I'm wondering if I'm going to have 12 volts here. And I do. 11.9. I'm in the way. Right, 12 volts. So the power supply board, at least on the DC side, is working okay. So I'm tempted to put it back together. Or I could test it with the AC. Tell you what, I'll put that transformer back in because the AC is going to run through there. Work out which way that went. I'll have a look on the old video and make sure that I've got that the right way around. It looks okay. No, it doesn't. I might be upside down. 2 minutes. It is upside down. I'm glad I checked. Was it that way or the other way? It was that way, but the cables were underneath there. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, I need to put this little fuse cover back on, which is easier said than done, so I'm going to do it off camera. Right, that's back on, just underneath there. So this goes underneath there, and sits down on there. And I've got 2 screws here, which must have been for that. Okay, so now I'm going to try the dangerous bit, and I'm going to try this board on 240 mains voltage. So I'm going to power this on with live mains. I'm going to see if I've got, I'd expect to see 12 volts, but it's anyone's guess. And that'll tell you if the transformer and the rectification is working. Right, let's go 240 volts. And I get 18.76 on the cable there. So this is all charged up. And that's going to take some time to discharge as well. I wonder, can I just watch it discharge through what I've just done? 18.39, 38, 37. So it's going down, but it's only 18 volts, but that capacitor has probably got about 330 odd volts on it. So I'm going to leave that to discharge. I'm not taking any chances because I've got to plug this little thing in to there. Although that doesn't have, this board doesn't have any power at the moment, not until I plug that in. For the sake of waiting, I'll wait. What's it saying now? 16 volts. That hasn't dropped at all. 2 volts. Not going down, is it? I think I need to discharge this cap. I'm not plugged into the wall. Right, I'm just going to put it back together. And not connect that power lead up. So I need the photos that I took. These are the photos that I... So I must be working from this way back. Actually, these are the buttons and these go over here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that one is going to have to go on there. Push on here. Yes. That was the bit I was more worried about. Right. So I don't want to connect this one up because it's still got power in it. The photo looks like a green, a red, an orange and a black one there, which must go in there. I've got a blue one, which I think is for the headphone thing, which looks like this one thing. I'll plug that in there. And I've got a red and green. Red, green and black. Red, green and black, which is next to, that's the switch at the front, which is up here. I think that's this one. That's that. It's got to be this one. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. Got this black one with 3 on. Trouble is, I've all got 3 on. Oh, here we go. I think that's the picture I've been hoping to find. So the 3 red and white one goes at the front. This green and white one goes next to it. And then I've got a black one goes at the back of the switch. The 2 power switch one goes at the front of the switch. Right. So I did take some good photos after all. So this black one goes here. I think I'm going to have to connect this red one up now. This is the power. It's about 18 volts in it. And then the red and white one goes at the front of the board. And this green one goes at the back of the board. And that is it. So I've got a little front of the switch there that needs to come out of the front somehow. And I think that's it. Am I not missing a little? Oh. Sure, that switch should be bigger. I wonder if something's fallen out. The screw holes are lined up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got a bolt. That was for this. I'm glad I haven't forgot about that. I have a feeling these case screws go through there once the case is on. So I've got one extra one to put in somewhere. I'm going to have a quick look on the video. Right, it went in here. Let's get this aerial put back in. Can I get it in the hole? There we go. I tell you what, working on this, it's been sitting on the desk while I've been waiting for the fuses to arrive, and it's got that lovely old electronic smell. I'm going to put the case on. I'm not going to do it up. I tell you what I haven't done. I haven't cleaned the pots. I was going to use some contact cleaner. I'm forgetting all about it. There's 2 little hooks at the front to go under there. Oh, there we go. Right, let's try that. I'm going to try it with the mains and my load lamp. So we'll bring this in. So I'm going to switch this to off. I can't remember if there was something on here or not. Anyways, switch on. You ready? Switch on here. And we've got radio. We've got something. Where's the volume? AM. Oh. That doesn't sound very good, does it? That's AM. FM, this aerial's not very good. Oh, listen, we'll have radio. Well, I'll have to edit. I'll have to mute that bit out.
As NASA and Boeing work out exactly what's wrong with the Boeing Starliner craft that got them up there.
There you go.
Bring them home. They were meant to be at the International Space Station for a week or so.
So the radios were
getting on for
brilliant.
3 weeks now.
Right, are we going to have power to the tube? I can't put anything on the tube because
domestic aircraft.
it doesn't exist anymore, analog TV. But we'll go We'll turn it down and we'll flip it up to TV and see if we get some static. It's humming. There's the static. It's brilliant. Radiation from the Big Bang apparently. Right, so what I need to do now that says TV tuning, but the little band, the little marker isn't going up and down very much. It's not moving at all. But we've got a picture. So I need to have a look at that. It's all the way down the side, I think. Oh, worst nightmare. Not having that working.
Safely, and there's typically there's a
Excellent.
Dragon,
Well,
there's a Soyuz, now there's a Starliner, so there are enough seats there. If at any given time,
so I just need to perhaps adjust the tuning thing. I wonder if it's actually tuning, but it's just the dial that's not moving up and down. As I turn that, the static, it does change slightly, but so far so good. So this is where I am at the moment. I've got a Sony PlayStation out of camera shot hooked up to its RF modulator. Now I've tested this on a different TV and it does output a picture, and I've got a little alligator clip there with a wire hooked around the aerial. I was just seeing if I got any kind of response from the TV as I turned this tuning knob, but it's not doing a damn thing. I was hoping the little indicator was just not going up and down and it was actually tuning in, but it does appear to be not doing any type of tuning. So I think I'm going to have to open this back up and see if we can work out why this isn't turning. The radio one makes a nice little adjustment, but this one doesn't do anything. So we'll have to switch off, open this up, being very careful, and have a look and see if we can access the tuning section. There's a bit of a rattle in there now, so something might just have came loose. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to access the tuning section. Is right at the front. There's definitely a rattle that wasn't there earlier. There's a chance to be a lot of energy in here. The tuning thing's all the way down in there. Does that mean I'm going to have to take the front of this off? Which I really don't want to do. It's a pity the side doesn't come off here. That tube's going to have a lot of voltage in it, and I don't know how to discharge it. I think it's underneath there. Although there's a tuning. The tuning cables are there, look. So I could possibly unplug this board again. Right, well that gives us a bit of space. This one I'm turning here is the TV one. The TV dial is turning that little copper thing, but it's not turning the rest of it. I've got no way of getting into there without removing this tube. But I wonder what was rattling. I'm just wondering if I undo this screw here, the front will come off with the tube. I've never taken one of these apart before. I'm going to undo this screw and see if the front will come off. Or I wonder if this whole board will lift out. It's certainly loosened up. I think I'm on the right path because the whole tube is moving. It's stuck at the bottom. Alright, I've pulled off the knobs, and the volume knob has got a little hexagonal nut that needs to come off. So that goes with that one. As before I did that, I unscrewed the screw in the bottom, 2 screws in the bottom, to see if I could lift this out. That's loose now. If I can get it out, and I can. Now that's concerning. Oh, that's just a pot for the volume. So that's a good result, isn't it? Right, let's have a look at this. There's a little cable tie here to come off. Put that down before I short something out. Right, so like I say, one of these is for the TV and one for the radio. I'm not sure what was rattling earlier because I can't see anything loose. So if we turn these, which one's not moving? This one. This one's working. This one's radio. This one isn't moving. Let's have a look. The string's not moving. How do I fix that? I've never known that not to work. Contact cleaner. I'll put a bit of contact cleaner on. So there must be a little potentiometer, I would think, in there. Similar to this one. And this turns. Has it just jammed up? Am I doing the right thing? Or am I going to break it? Well, I've got it going. I've got it going to there. I should really try to get in there. There's a screw, and that would just come off from the main part. If I undo these 2 screws, I think I could take this off separately. I'm quite enjoying this. It's a bit nerve-wracking because I've not done it before. But now I can go in there. See if it's now. Yes. No. Oh, it's stuck again. I've got some super contact, whatever, 10 for cleaning lubricant potentiometers and such, which leaves a bit of lubricant, but obviously I don't want that on the spring, do I? But I think that contact cleaner is working itself in. Just spray in there. That's the one for the radio, I believe. Oh, it's not volume. That's the radio one. Spray that one in there. Right, well. So that should be okay. Right. Let's see if we can get this put back together without breaking anything. I'm just trying to remember where everything goes. These have to line up this way. Like so. I've already got a screw in there. That was the other one to go in there, I think. Right, so now they're both at the top, or at the bottom, depending on which way you look at it. This is where I'm going to get stuck. I've got these to go in, this one, and this one. Right, so the volume one went in there, but it wasn't connected to anything. So I think I could probably, that looks like it's keyed, and I've got the cable coming up, so I'm going to guess that's in the right place, so I can pop that on. I need some little nut drivers. Right, that's on to keep it on in place. There's nothing in this hole at the bottom. I'm going to have to take that blooming, I've got that in the wrong place, I think. Oh, hang on a minute. That's the missing. Does that go on the front of there? It does. That's what was rattling around. I thought when I had the television, it had an easier blooming way to switch the controller. So that was what was rattling around inside. Right. So that goes in the top there. Right. So this is for the side. And if I press that in, it hits that volume one. So that volume one's in the wrong way. But looking at the cables, it looks like they've been bent that way. So I'm going to put the cables to the back, because I think they bend up to go into here. Right, now this needs to slot back in. Which is easier said than done. I cannot see me little volume. It's too high up at the front. It's just been a bit too high up. Oh, I see. It's got some notches. Sorry. It's notched here. And there to go on these, I think. Now look at, there's a little clip there. So I think this front's designed to come off, and then you clip them notches on. So it is. I don't want to force those clips off, because the plastics could be very brittle. So if I can get this on without doing that, I'd be happy. There's no way to see, or I might be able to see if those notches, if those pegs go into those notches at the top, and then it's just a case of press it down. I think that's it. I've got my volume. No, it's not. It's my AM, FM. That fit on there now? Yes, it does. I think that's it. It did go down nicely. I've got the 2 screws. See if I can get one of them in. Yes. There's a screw there. That looks like it's lining up okay. I've got a screw at the back here to go in. And a little one at the front. Was it this one? I'm not quite sure now. Right, let's see. Put this on. Yes. Yes, it does. It's working. Well, it appears to be working. So all I need to do now is to get my phone out, work out how these connectors go back on. Don't forget to put that on. And put it back together and give it another try. I'm getting excited. Now at this point, without testing it, I've been very lucky I haven't gotten a shock. So do not do what I've just done. If I get another one of these, I'm going to work out how to discharge the CRT. Right, fingers crossed. Right, let's get switched on and hopefully it won't blow up. Right, switch on at the wall. Switch on here. So I've still got me. It definitely looks like it's picking up something. Well, it's not picking up anything, but it's looking better. Oh, oh, look at that! It blooming works. I know. I'm sorry. I've tried to get rid of the flicker by adjusting the FPS, the shutter speed on the camera, but that does indeed say X station. Bring that up full size. There we go. So we do have a picture. Seeing the Sony PlayStation logo, it just looks so proper retro. I am amazed. I can't even read what that is. I can't read what the game is, but we might be able to work it out. There we go. GT Interactive. Brilliant. Right, well that's a lovely little project. What does that say? Oh, it's one of them arcade. I don't want one of them. Try and find a proper game. I've got brightness and contrast on the side. The writing's so bad and too small I can't even read it out. Hang on, I'll put my glasses on. It says Doom. Doom. Well, I've got no sound, but considering I've just got an area wrapped around an aerial, I would say that's pretty good. Loading. Well. I am over the moon. I cannot hear any audio on there, but I'll put the radio on. Yeah, I've got radio still.
Just slice of serenity. Finally sorting your plumbing to stop that
There you go.
noise.
So the radio's still working.
And when it matters, it should be done splendidly.
Right.
So type your postcode and what you...
Fantastic. I'm going to turn the PlayStation off. Well, what can I say? I've got no use for a little television like this, but it has been, and it does still look like it's in very good condition. Switch it off at the wall. That has been a great little project, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working on it, despite the nerves of having to open it up. I thought that was brilliant. So all I have to do now is to put the case screws back in. I'm actually glad I opened it back up, because I had missed this little lever off, so it was well worth opening it back up again. So it came boxed. That's it there. BT-121J. And I've even got the schematics. So if I could find the video and find out where to plug in the composite, I might have a go at modding this and putting a little composite cable on it, and I think that would be a great little experiment. So that's it. That's all for today. That's all you're getting. My very first CRT video. And if I can get another couple without breaking the bank, I'll do another one. So, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. I'm going to put this back together, and I'll see you all in the next one. If you've got any ideas what to do with this, please let us know in the comment section, and keep in touch.